teach about it either. That's why it's up to us. So I'm going to tell y'all about Henry Boyd. And I need y'all to push this video like y'all did the last video, even though they still trying to suppress the last video. It's up to us to get their stories out, okay? So this is Henry Boyd. And Henry Boyd was born into slavery in 1802 until he was 18 years old, and he was apprenticed out to a cabinet maker in Kentucky. Boyd was so talented at making cabinets, he was able to use his skills to gain his freedom. At the age of 24, he moved to Cincinnati, Ohio, which was a free state, but it bordered Kentucky, and they were not as welcoming to African Americans. So it was really hard for him to find a job. And anytime a white employer would hire him, they would end up backing down because their white employees would threaten to quit. So eventually, he found a job working at a store as a janitor. And one day, while he was working, a white man came in drunk as hell, falling all over the place. So Boyd wanted to protect his employer, and so he built something. Boyd invented the countertops at the store to create space between his employer and his customers. That way, if they came into the store all drunk, they had something to lean on. This is a replica of one of Henry Boyd's countertop designs. This is what they look like today. So the next time you walk into a gas station or a grocery store and you lean on that countertop, I want you to think about Henry Boyd. Well, Henry didn't stop there. His employer was so grateful for the new countertop that he allowed Henry to start being contracted out to different carpenters, where he earned enough money to buy his brother and his sister's freedom. He also earned enough money to build his own workshop, which he grew to 4 different locations. And at one of those workshops, he invented something else. Now, at these workshops, Boyd assembled bed frames, but he decided to design his own bed frames, and then he invented bed rails. Now, his bed rails made the beds more sturdy, and his bed frames made the mattresses fit more snug. It was said that he had the most beautiful designs all around. Now, his white counterparts, who were competitors in the bed frame industry, loved his design so much they started copying them because they knew that Boyd could not get a patent, because at that time, African Americans were not citizens and could not get their own patent. So Boyd went into business with his white employer, who ended up getting the patent for him. His employer even advertised that the bed rails were made by Boyd. Well, that made his white competitors mad because they kept burning down his workshops, and eventually he became too high risk for insurance companies, and Boyd had to retire. After he retired, he became very active as a conductor on the Underground Railroad, and he built a room that could house 5 slaves. He became so popular that people thought his house was the first stop on the Underground Railroad instead of Levi Coffin. In 1832, Boyd paid to post in the paper that he believed that the cholera outbreak was waterborne, but they didn't want to believe him because he was black, and more than 55,000 people died from a